Hey everyone, it's Wild Josh from the Geek-Cetera podcast. I thought it'd be fun to look at some smaller behind-the-scenes characters from the Star Wars universe, in a YouTube series that we're going to call Star Wars, Who's Who. These videos will take a look at what we know according to Star Wars canon now, and they'll also go into what has been true in the past with some legend stories. I hope you'll find it enjoyable. You may know him as the strange-looking, bald-headed, bug-eyed guy in the Mos Eisley Cantina, with the weird-looking clarinet. But there's more to him than meets the eye. Just like everything else in Star Wars, if it has been put on film, then there is an expansive and full background of information on it. With that being said, I introduce you to Figrin Dan. To begin, let's start with what we know to be canon. Figrin Dan, also known as Fiery Figrin, is a male Bith, born from the planet which shares the same name. Full of charisma, he is the frontman for the music group Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. Figrin Dan's funny-looking clarinet is actually called a clue horn. But Figrin can also play the gas and string drum quite well. Although known to be a little on the compulsive and overbearing side by his fellow bandmates, Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes has found pretty good success in the galactic circuit. But the band mostly focused on venues in the Outer Rim. They became regulars at Chalmum's Spaceport Cantina in Mos Eisley on Tatooine. Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes' most popular song was their hit Mad About Me, which just so happens was playing when a certain gray-haired Jedi Master known as Obi-Wan Kenobi defended his travel companion Luke Skywalker against an angry Ponda Baba, which left the Aquilish thug with a missing appendage. There's a lot more to know about Figrin, but the rest falls under Legends and is not considered Star Wars canon. In Legends, Bith, like Figrin, come from the homeworld Clactor 7, and not the planet Bith. Figrin's younger brother Barquin Dan is also a musician. He plays the clue horn for the Max Rebo Band, which has a gig playing shows at the notorious Jabba's Palace on Tatooine. Figrin is also known to have played many shows at Jabba's Palace, but due to the fear of disappointing Jabba and being fed to his many beasts, the Modal Nodes decided it best to look for music opportunities elsewhere, breaching a contract with the Angry Slug. Of course, Jabba did not take too kindly of this, and set bounty hunters after the Modal Nodes band members. It was Wooher, the barkeep at Chalmum's Cantina, that helped them out of that sticky situation, and also helped them get their new gig at the Cantina. The Modal Nodes also had a well-paying gig playing a wedding for one of Jabba's criminal rivals, a whipped female named Lady Valerian. It was in fact the payout for this gig that gave Figrin the cash he needed to make a break from playing at Jabba's palace in the first place. It wasn't long before Figrin got the Modal Nodes into some more trouble, gambling away the band's instruments on a hand of sabacc. Eventually, though, he was able to win back the instruments, and the band was able to get back to playing more gigs. The actor who played Figrin Dan in Star Wars A New Hope was the special effects and makeup artist Rick Baker. He also played fellow Cantina guest Hem Dazen. Well, there you go. You now know who's who when it comes to Figrin Dan. Would you like to know who's who about another character in the Star Wars universe? If so, let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to listen to the Geek-Cetera podcast, which can be found on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. You can also find out more at our website, www.geek-cetera.com, as well as on our Twitter, at geek_cetera. Thanks, and may the Force be with you.